This is the brand new raid in Krunker, and today I'm going to be covering everything you need to know, including all the known weapon spots, as well as all the best currently meta techniques and tricks to help you guys throughout your raid journey. So you're going to spawn in this room, and there are actually only 6 weapons in this room. Here are their locations. There is a Techie 9 and 5 different pistols. Now, of course, you're going to have 8 players in total. So the other 2 weapons is, there's one behind this box, which is an auto pistol. And if you do this parkour, at the end of this parkour, there's actually a crossbow. However, we'd sort of decided that the crossbow isn't really too good or worth the trouble of dying on this parkour to get. So we just decided to ignore it and had the last person come in after we had killed the boss in the first room. So now that you have your weapons, you're going to want to come over and open this other gate and walk up this here stairway. Now, if you actually drop down at the end of this stairway, you're going to enter a room with 1 boss and 4 different AIs which have precision-like aiming. Now, because of this, you should expect to die very, very quickly. So how me and my squad beat this room was we would drop down and directly run to the right side and hide under this AI here. Your team can stack up in the corner and you can actually hit the bot whilst he cannot hit you, because the rockets he fires will hit the pillar in front of you, and also you cannot be seen by any of the other AIs in this room as of current. This is, however, subject to change as the raid does go under continuous updates, but at the moment this is the best spot for taking out this boss. After your team manages to kill the boss, you're pretty much just going to want to sprint straight for the center and drop down this hold as fast as possible. I didn't tend to worry about taking damage too much in this. I don't think health is really too big of a problem at the moment to do the rest of this raid. Anyways, you're going to drop down into this room with quite a few zombie enemies, and you're pretty much just going to want to use the button to parkour your way up here. There's quite a few routes that you could take, but I would always take this one and grab this shotgun here in the corner. When there were players in my squad that didn't have the parkour down yet, I would always jump down with the shotgun and use it to distract all the zombies, whilst another player opens the button to get the slimer. The player with the slimer would use one of the 2 slimes to slime their way up onto the platform, and would preferably save and use the other one on the next bit of the parkour. However, this is quite a tedious process to get correct. As you can see in the footage, Caleb managed to get the angle on this correct, so we just both bounced over the first bit of this parkour completely. Before we continue with this, however, I just want to mention something that we forgot to mention in the zombie room. As you can see from this here freeze frame, there's actually a blue spinning card that you can see in the top right hand corner of your screen. Now, there are actually 5 of these around the map, and you need to collect every single one of them if you want to be able to progress to the final raid boss. Now, these cards also heal 50 HP upon picking up, and this is the first card that your team needs to collect. Okay, now returning to the footage, there's actually a scientist through this door that you need to kill, and as you can see, there's a card on the right side that you can just grab by jumping up here. There's also another scientist at the very end of this parkour, and you're pretty much just going to want to take him out quite quickly. Okay, now this parkour is probably the hardest parkour in the map. Now, if you didn't manage to use the slimer to skip the first part of this parkour, there's 2 main ways that you can do it. The way that I like to do it is just by doing the parkour normally, and I managed to do this quite easily due to a lot of practice. Now I'm going to be showing a clip from Cammy, and he pretty much shows the other way of how to do this parkour. Now, this is probably the better of the ways to do this, and Cammy actually made a full raid practice map so you guys can practice this parkour in his map. It's called Lab Practice. The link will be in the description, along with the link to his full speedrun video. Now, after you have completed the parkour, you're pretty much going to want to go up this staircase, and as you can see on top of these boxes here is the Famas. Now, just going through the map, there's actually another scientist that you need to shoot, and you can actually hit him here without him shooting back at you. So you're going to want to take this guy out as well. Now, after you've taken this guy out, there's some more parkour, and going to the left here is where you need to go to get your 3rd ticket of the raid, and also at the end of this parkour is the semi-automatic. From here you just go all the way back and take the other route, and you should come out here, and this is actually where the alien blaster spawns. Going to the left here will show you the alien blaster pistol, and you can pick that up if you want it. Now, up these stairs you will find a few shotgunners, and you can pretty much just ignore these guys, get the 4th ticket from here, and these guys shouldn't really hit you, I don't think. You can just B-hop past them, they're not really an issue, and you can just go down into the sewers. In these sewers is where you will find the rocket launcher along with your 5th and final ticket that you need to unlock the door. As you can see from the footage, this door is currently locked. However, after I pick up the ticket and jump back, the door is now open. Now the RPG is also in this room. If you look on the screen, you can see it on this sledge right here. I'm not actually too sure how to get to it, but it's there. And also, just as a side note, these things explode if you shoot them, and you can find them throughout the map. We're not really too sure what these are used for right now, but they may be for an Easter egg of some kind, so just keep that in mind. So from here, you just do the parkour as normal, and this second to last jump right here is a little bit tricky. You just want to pretty much strafe it, looking at the ground sort of, and you should be able to get that jump right there pretty easily. Congratulations, you've now made it to the final boss of the raid. Now this guy isn't actually too difficult to kill. He does about 20 damage on melee and about 25 damage with a ball throw at the moment. This includes 20 base damage and 5 zapper damage. Now pretty much if you stick near the back of the arena, these guys can't actually shoot you from the other side. As you can see from the footage here, I'm now shooting at them, but they won't actually shoot back. So you can pretty much just keep these guys alive and take care of the boss in this half of the arena. Alternatively, there is currently a working cheese spot where you get this guy stuck on the final button that you press to end the raid. So pretty much you can just B-hop past both of the scientists in the previous room and take this guy into the final room and get him stuck on the button. Now this guy can't actually hit you from this location, so you can pretty much just do damage to him without the risk of dying. I have been told that you need to keep him in the center of the button, as you can see from this clip. However, I'm not too sure how true that is. Now from here, you just kill the boss, get an item, and you just hold this button to escape. Now you actually need to hold this button for a little bit more than one full bar, otherwise it won't work. It seems to be glitched at the moment. So that's pretty much everything in the raid. Now I'm just going to go over a few more tips and tricks and things that I might have missed or forgot to mention that could help you guys out in your runs. So let's start with some of the drops. Going all the way back to the first boss, this guy can actually drop the Contraband Good Old Days pistol, as you can see here in this clip when one of my teammates gets it in a run. Credits to Kashi for this clip, his channel link will be in the description below. Now as for the other two Contrabands, we actually haven't seen them drop yet, but we theorize that they're both from the final boss. Now there's currently 2 owners of the Good Old Days SMG and 0 of the Desert Eagle pistol, so we're not really too sure about the Desert Eagle, but we're fairly certain that the SMG drops from the final boss. Now going back to the zombie room, a few of you players may be having a little bit of trouble with the button jump, so there's actually a few ways to do it. The way that I like to do it is just by strafe hopping off the button. However, you can also slide hop onto the button and then up, or you can also stand on the button and W key into the wall, and you can maybe get lucky and manage to jump up onto the ledge above. The key to doing this ledge jump is having low FPS, so make sure you cap your FPS if you want to do it this way. Also in the zombie room, I've just learned that there is a rev, so credits to Quacky for this clip, but you pretty much get it by the parkour that he's doing in this clip that you can see here, and that's pretty much how you get the rev. And the last thing that I want to mention is that this semi-jump here is actually quite hard to get down, so just be careful when you're doing this jump. It's a little bit like the sewers jump that I mentioned earlier, however just slightly easier. So that's pretty much everything you should ever need to know about this raid. Credits to Kashi, Limp, Quacky, Kami, and Danny Dashi for clips that I used in this video. All their links will be in the description below. Please be wary that some of the methods and strats used in this video are subject to change. The raid is brand new and I'm sure more updates will be coming along. If you like this kind of raid guide, I've actually done one on Tortuga raid that you can click on now, and I've also done a full zombies raid guide for everything you need to know about zombies. And just one last thing, if you enjoy my content, please feel free to subscribe. It's absolutely free and you can unsubscribe at any time that you want. And apart from that, that's about it from me. Take care. Peace.